Hey, I'm Terry Klein. This is 10 Minutes on Songs. This week we're going to be talking about song structure. Before we do that, though, I'd love it if you could subscribe. I think there's probably a button kind of right down in this area where it's red and you can click it and you'll subscribe, and then basically nothing will happen to you. I don't think you'll get any messages or notifications whatsoever. It will just look good for me. So it'd be great if you could do that. I would appreciate that very much. So we're going to talk this week about song structure, and we're going to start with a hot button topic. That's Old Town Road. Old Town Road has been the subject of so much consternation and controversy. From a structural standpoint, what's really nifty about it is that it starts with a chorus. I'm going to take my horse down the Old Town Road. And that's the way a lot of songs used to get written. She Loves You, for example, the Beatles song, She Loves You, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, Good Looking. Those songs start with choruses. I think with Old Town Road, it might really foster a discussion about what I consider to be the conventional wisdom about songs in kind of the songwriting establishment, in the community, the gatekeepers and all that sort of business. In that universe, you're expected, I think, to write a 3.5-minute song that starts with a verse, goes to a chorus that lifts, goes back to a verse that's maybe even shorter than the first verse, goes to a chorus, goes to a bridge, then goes to another chorus, and then it goes out. I think that is the conventional wisdom as to how you structure a song. Old Town Road starts with a chorus, goes to a verse, goes to another chorus, another verse, and then it's over in 1 minute and 53 seconds, the original version at least. If it accomplished nothing else, and this is a song that is at the top of the Billboard chart and has been at the top of the Billboard chart for longer, the pop chart for longer than I believe any other song in the history of the chart. Even if you put that to one side, if it fosters some discussion of new and different kinds of song structures that actually bring us back again to the days of Hey Good Looking, the days of She Loves You, I think that's really cool. You can talk about the merits of the song and all that sort of business and debate about that for as long as you want. But I just love the fact that it's so different in the way it is structured and its length. My structure that I use that I don't see a whole lot of other people using is a structure that I think people know as AABA. Some people also call it a verse, verse, bridge, verse, out. And I just love it. I've used it, I think, on the two records. I think there may be 5 songs with it. There's Watchmen. There's a song called Steady Rain that finishes my current record, Every Other Sunday, and Too Blue to Get That Far. And the characteristic of these kinds of songs is you have a verse, 6 lines maybe, and the 6th line usually includes a catchphrase like Every Other Sunday or I Can't Be Your Watchman Anymore, that repeats at the end of each of those 3 verses. And then that B section or bridge, depending on who you talk to, goes to some different place, melodically, but also thematically in the context of the song. I don't see a whole lot of people using that structure these days, my peers at least. Dylan used it in Make You Feel My Love, which obviously Adele turned into this gargantuan hit, but it just isn't used a whole heck of a lot. The song of mine that I use it on, to I think the best effect is Dull Women Keep Immaculate Homes. And I'm going to play that so that you can get a sense for kind of how this structure works. And again, this is a short song. 2.5 minutes, 2:45, maybe sometimes if I play it really slow. But it's still takes you places, and it still lifts in its own way. Well, Grandma June and Grandpa Joe lived up in Dutchess County. They had a tiny house on a big old piece of land. And that house was filled with books and sculptures and papers and paintings that take an MFA to understand. Well, sometimes Grandpa Joe, he'd almost lose his temper. He'd say, June, this house is looking like a war zone. She'd put her hands on her hips, tilt her head to the left and say, dull women keep immaculate homes. Well, Grandpa Joe passed, and oh, how she missed him. That tiny house became a shrine to their love. And then she started adopting dogs and cats and hamsters. They kept her company along with the good Lord up above. But Daddy didn't like it, not for one single second. He said, Mama, what on earth is going on? She put her hands on her hips, tilted her head to the left and said, dull women keep immaculate homes. And she said, oh, I've been so blessed. Yeah, there's joy in this life and you can find it. You're going to make a mess. We lost Grandma June a year ago November. I hadn't cried like that since I was just a kid. We all met up at Uncle Milton's and drank and sang together, told off-color jokes like Grandma June would have did. Then we buried her in the cemetery, right next to her beloved, and Daddy wouldn't say just what he put on her gravestone. I read that epitaph, and there etched in granite was, dull women keep immaculate homes. Dull women keep immaculate homes. So that is dull women keep immaculate homes. And so from a structural standpoint, what you have is that first verse that talks about a married couple, and it ends with this line, this tag, dull women keep immaculate homes, which I got from a prompt. I'm not going to take credit for that. It came from a prompt, and some of y'all know that story, and perhaps on a different episode of 10 Minutes on Songs, we will talk about how that came to be. Second verse talks about a mom and a daughter, a mom and a son, I should say, and it ends with that tagline again: dull women keep immaculate homes. Then it goes to the B section, and I prefer to call it a B section and not a bridge because I don't view it as a bridge, because bridges are in a different kind of song. It's a B section. You know, there's joy in this life if you're willing to make a mess, and that lifts kind of. And it takes you to a different place. It puts you right into the Grandma June's head in a way that the rest of the song doesn't. And then the last verse finishes again with dull women keep immaculate homes, and there's a tag as well. If you've got an AABA structure that you've written, drop a link in the comments, or if you know one that's a super famous song that I'm obviously just forgetting about, drop that in the comments too, because I just dig the structure and I'd love to learn more about how other people are using it. So that is 10 minutes on songs. And it's good that we're at about 10 minutes because I'm out in the man shack, the song shed, and it is 100 degrees outside and getting close to that in here. And so I am going to sign off. We'll be back next week talking about something else. I don't know what. But thanks so much for watching. This has been 10 Minutes on Songs. I'm Terry Klein, and we'll see you soon.